The men's 100 meter dash at the USA Championships are over, and let me tell you, that race did not end according to plan. I mean, of course, the winner was something that most people probably saw coming, but everything else was pretty unexpected. I'm just gonna go entirely off head because that race, which unfortunately wasn't on television, even though you could log in and watch it for free, but I mean, I don't know who actually did that, but hey, let's just get into it because I'm gonna go through all of it. The race, setting the stage, and what it actually means. When we came to the line, the men who most people were focusing on in the final were the following. You had Kenny Bednarek, who, dominated Grand Slam track, ran through the rounds, he was looking real good, very clearly. Trayvon Bromell was a favorite coming in because at the time he'd already put on the boards, and in his heats, he ran well, but McCallum, who's technically a college kid running for the University of Tennessee, was always right there. He was making it clear that he was to be taken seriously. So that's three names because Trayvon was a favorite, but T-Mars was there. And then you had the next group. You had Courtney, Lindsey, who, he's made USA teams in the 200 specifically. He's been on relay teams, but he was trying to get there in the 100 now. And then, of course, Coleman, because he made it to the final. He'd run pretty well. He was actually in the fastest semi. It was slightly wind assisted. And when he got to this race, I mean, this is what it was going to come down to. Are you going to make Team USA in the 100 or not? Because this year, we did not go very well up until this moment, but he did look pretty good during the rounds. You also have to add Ronnie Baker in there, because Ronnie Baker was probably my pick to win the World Indoor Championship in the 60-meter dash, got hurt in that final, and from that moment till now has been overcoming injury. When he came out in the heats, a lot of people were like, yo, where'd Ronnie Baker come from? And I'm like, hey, this is the same Ronnie Baker that just won USA Indoor. He's just been overcoming injury and people forgot, but he's back. So after all that, you also got to remember the names that aren't on the line. Yeah, I'm going to go through this. Jordan Anthony didn't make the final. The same Jordan Anthony who won the NCAA championship, and a whole bunch of people told me he was going to win the USAs. I wasn't on that train, but I did think he would make it to the final, but hey, it is what it is. And on top of that, Brandon Hicklin, who also trains with Star Athletics, was in the Olympic trials final last year. He didn't make it. But Maurice Gleaton Jr., who is a high school kid, actually did. So now that you know who's in the race, I mean, hey, if I left your name out, I apologize, but I'm going to hop into it because these are the names that were at the top of the board. This is exactly what happened. Kenny Bednarek took care of business. You probably know that part already. 9.79 seconds. But that's just the beginning of the story. That's not the end. I'm even going to give you the win factors because I'm going to give you all of it. I said all the reaction, you want it, you got it. 9.79 from Kenny Bednarek with a plus 1.8 isn't all that shocking because if win factors are legitimate, if they are, for the performances he's given us and when people look at races and evaluate it, yeah, some of the 9.8s he's given us were the quality that could have been 9.79. So just before we go any further, because he did win the race, if you're asking me whether I think he's going to beat Kashane Thompson or even Noah Lyles in top flight, that's not exactly where I'm at yet. But he did let us know that him making the Olympic final last year wasn't a fluke. He's likely going to be in the World Championship final again with a shot to get a medal. Hey, I said that part, but I got to move on. Because now I'm going to tell you the very interesting part of the story. Trayvon Bromell ran 9.84 seconds in this race. And Coleman, behind him, ran 9.86 seconds in this race. And before the gun went off, if you had told me that both of those things were going to happen, I would have assumed they would be on Team USA going to the Worlds. But that's not what happened. Because if Trayvon Bromell goes 9.84, T-Mars McCallum goes 9.83, and Courtney Lindsey goes 9.82. So yes, those two men go to Team USA this year and will compete at the Worlds. That means that Coleman and Trayvon Bromell missed out on the team by hundredths of a second, 100th in Trayvon's case. Both of those men have, very unique narratives that bring us to where they're at. As far as Trayvon is concerned, a lot of it's been injury that kept them out. And Coleman had a pretty rough season this year, missed the Olympic team last year, barely. And this time, he still missed it barely by, 300th of a second? But more or less, he was right there. But this is the sport that we're in. And as long as making it to the Worlds is the biggest thing you can do, and you are American, This is the way the game shakes out. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, and if you really want to know what's going on with the fastest athletes in the world, then you are in the right place. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. If you could go down the leaderboards, there's still other names. Maurice Gleaton Jr. alongside Ronnie Baker go 9.92. Again, I'm going off head. So, hey, I believe I got it right, but it is what it is. So they ran fast. Don't get me wrong. But with that field, to have that many men go that fast and beyond, this is why being an American in the sprints is a very challenging thing. Because remember, Noah Lyles isn't even in this race. But when Noah Lyles gets to a final, we saw this at the Olympic trials last year, and we saw this at the Worlds the year before that. We saw this at the Olympic Games. Ultimately, he's going to give you what he has. And as far as I'm concerned, you're not beating Noah Lyles if you can't give 9.7 something at this point in his career in a final. We know that a few people can do it in the world. Like Shane Thompson, we know he could do it. And you could make a few arguments for a few others. But very few people can actually do it on command in a final. With that in mind, there's a whole bunch of talent, like a logjam, that Team USA has to deal with, like right after that. And that's what this race was. Kenny Bednarek separated from the group. But 9.79 with 9.82 behind it is actually really, really close. Shout out to Courtney Lindsey, because he was an NCAA champion already in the 100-meter dash. That was from a few years ago. I've been considering him more of a 200 guy, because when it comes to the world stage for Team USA, that's more or less what we've been seeing from him. Even when he goes on the Diamond League circuit, and him and Lindsey have been going back and forth. The 200 is the race that we've been seeing him in. But clearly he's been working on his 100s, and that is a new PR. T-Mars McCallum also gave us a new PR. This is the same young man who didn't get a medal at the NCAA championships in the 100. Not at any point in his career up until this point. But I do have to say that in all the frenzy around Jordan Anthony, Maurice Gleaton Jr., and everything else, T-Mars McCallum is of the same caliber of talent. When you go back to when he was in high school, go back to that year, you will realize that he was the fastest boy in high school in the 100-meter dash at that moment. His first year in college was a little rocky, and he started figuring it out after that. And now that he's been in college for a while, I believe he just finished his third year, this is the T-Mars McCallum that we actually got on the track. So, yeah, he is legit. Didn't think this was going to happen, because for him to go that fast, that big a PR under those conditions, after running a full college season, it is what it is. And I've said that when we have favorites, like people who are supposed to represent Team USA, and I say supposed to, based off of demonstrated talent through a season and past history, if you're going to take a spot on the team, I want you to take it by force. I don't want people to underachieve and then you get the spot. So when you tell me that 984 and 986 are Trayvon, Bromell, and Christian Coleman, and they don't go on the team, I guess actually went out there and took it by force. Because, hey, no shade to the 9.9s in the world, but for where we're living right now, like in Team USA with the 100, that's not fast enough. Not when they give you a plus 1.8 wind to help you out. They took you all the way to the limit of what they consider to be legal without actually going over. Remember, that 2.0 number is just arbitrarily chosen. I don't know what committee of people determined 2.0 is the limit for wind assisted versus not. Because when it hits 2.1, we just toss the race out and say, it was windy. 2.0 and 2.1 are basically the same thing. If you know anything about math, but it is what it is. So now that this race is over, and we know who the team is going to be at Worlds, there's no point in talking about what could have been. Let's just focus on what is. What is going to happen is Noah Lyles and Kenny Bednarek are going to represent Team USA again. They just did it at the Olympic Games and both went to the final, so you can basically book their tickets doing it again this year. Things can happen, but that's fully what we expect. Let me know in the comments if you don't see that happening. But when it comes to Courtney Lindsey and T-Mars McCallum, that's where it gets interesting. Because Courtney Lindsey has been waiting for this moment to represent for Team USA individually again. But this isn't his first time at the Worlds. He did it in the 200 and did not make a final back in 2023. That was a year where we sent 4 people in that event because Noah Lyles had, a bye or, he was an auto bid into the World Championships. but Courtney Lindsey was not a finals contestant. And when you put red, white, and blue on and you go over to a world championship, you're supposed to be in a final, at the very least. So, he now gets to repeat it. And he might even be running the 200 after this, but like, the expectation is get to a final, compete for a medal. I mean, any questions? I'm pretty sure that's what we're doing. For T. Marth McCallum, he's at this point playing with house money because he wasn't even supposed to make it this far. He's not on my never supposed to be this fast list. He was supposed to be this fast, but he wasn't supposed to be this fast right now. Not after the season we just had, because he kept going. Like, somehow, some way, he was able to run through the SEC championship meet, run through the NCAA meet. I mean, pretty sure that he peaked for both of them. I don't think the plan was, don't get medals. Like, don't win the SECs, don't win the NCAAs, but we gonna make Team USA. I don't think that was the plan all the way back in October of last year. But this is where we're at now. He's going to the World Championships. And he's gonna have some decisions to make. I don't know if he's going over there and he's gonna come back to college. He might go over there and, hey, between now and then, end up with a pro deal. Who knows? But he's gonna go. And I actually don't know what to expect. I just know he had the talent to make the final, and he definitely put it together at the USA's. But he's gonna have to put it all together again, and that's 5-6 weeks away. So you're gonna have to, cycle back your training, because he definitely ran hard in these races. Looked to me like he charged through all 3 rounds. And with that in mind, yeah, I mean, if we're gonna put 4 people in the final again, because we've done it before. Like, you go back 2022, America put 4 men in the 100-meter dash final. If we're going to do it, T. Marth McCallum is going to have to be one of those names. So, with all that being said, this 100-meter dash was a wild race. It's crazy that this didn't get on cable, because I don't think in this specific USA Championship, you're going to top that. I mean, yeah, they might re-air it on TV, probably tomorrow. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're definitely going to show the highlight, which some people think the highlight is the whole race, but you really lose the context if all you do is watch those 10 seconds. But that's what you have me for, to tell you. In the sport of track and field, race day is honestly the easy part, because all of the real work gets put in when nobody is watching. When you wear every day is training day gear, you can let the whole world know that your success in competition is not an accident. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below, and it always comes with free shipping. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.